Good morning, and welcome to your essential update on today's headlines from across the USA and Canada. In a stark public health setback, Canada has officially lost its measles elimination status for the first time in nearly 3 decades, as announced by the Public Health Agency of Canada and confirmed by the Pan-American Health Organization. This follows a massive multi-jurisdictional outbreak that began in late October 2024 in New Brunswick and spread to 9 provinces and 1 territory, racking up over 5,100 confirmed and probable cases this year alone, including the tragic deaths of 2 infants born preterm after in utero infections. Health officials are now ramping up urgent vaccination campaigns targeting under-vaccinated communities where coverage has dipped below the critical 95% threshold, aiming to interrupt transmission for at least 12 months to reclaim the status, while experts warn this regional loss heightens risks of imported cases fueling further spread. Shifting to poignant national reflection, Remembrance Day ceremonies on November 11 drew massive crowds to Ottawa's National War Memorial and communities from coast to coast, where thousands of veterans, military personnel, and supporters braved grey skies to honor the 118,000 Canadians who have died in service since the First World War, highlighting milestones like the 80th anniversary of D-Day, the 75th of NATO's founding, and the 10th anniversary of the Afghanistan peacekeeping mission's end. The events featured wreath-layings, flyovers by the Royal Canadian Air Force marking its centennial, and the traditional 2 minutes of silence at 11 a.m., with Silver Cross Mother Maureen Anderson leading tributes that underscored the fading ranks of Second World War survivors, now under 4,000, and the enduring call to preserve their stories of sacrifice for the freedoms we cherish today. In weather disruptions gripping the nation, an unseasonably ferocious early winter storm dumped up to 35 centimeters of heavy, wet snow overnight across central and eastern Quebec, including the Quebec City area and Côte-Nord, toppling tree branches laden with autumn leaves onto power lines and leaving more than 195,000 Hydro-Quebec customers in the dark as of evening, while snarling highways, forcing widespread school closures in Montreal, the South Shore, and beyond, and prompting emergency declarations. Forecasters note the system intensified faster than predicted near freezing temperatures, blending snow with tricky melt zones, and warn of lingering flurries into tomorrow amid cleanup efforts that could stretch for days. Turning to the United States, the Trump administration faces escalating bipartisan backlash over its aggressive deportation flights to El Salvador, where over 260 Venezuelan and Salvadoran men accused of ties to gangs like Tren de Aragua and MS-13 were rushed to the notorious terrorism confinement center prison in March without full due process, despite revelations that most lacked U.S. criminal convictions and some deportations defied court orders, including the erroneous case of a Maryland father granted withholding of removal. Reports of harsh conditions, forced extractions, and rights abuses in the facility have ignited calls for investigations into administrative errors, lack of evidence transparency, and the invocation of the Alien Enemies Act, as families and advocates demand accountability and oversight reforms to prevent further miscarriages of justice. That's your snapshot of the stories shaping our shared region today. Stay informed, stay connected. If you found this update helpful, please like, subscribe for daily recaps, and drop a comment below sharing your take on these headlines. We read every one. Thanks for tuning in.